Indira, thank you for holding. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi.
Hi, Indira.
Hi, I'm calling to win those tickets.
Yes, right here, both. Yes, they're right here. Let's go. What's the answer?
I'm guessing it's an officer.
Was Arthur Folks a police officer?
No,
Indira, no. I'm so sorry.
No.
Indira, we are giving away tickets again
Good
tomorrow,
answer,
so call tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Sharon Ferguson. Thank you so much for calling. Welcome to the conversation.
Yes, is it C.A. Smith?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
I don't think C.A. Smith was a police officer either. Listen, we are giving away tickets tomorrow as well. Oh, my God. Somebody, listen. See the tickets right here? Call. Get these out of my hands. Call 325-5403, 325-5404. The police officer who went ahead to become acting Governor General.
And he worked previously as one of the officers in charge of the traffic division when it was on Charlotte Street.
Man, what a dickens over that. Hi. Hello. Hi, Indiana. Thank you for holding. Welcome to the conversation.
Hi, is it C.A. Smith?
No.
C.A. Smith was a police officer?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Listen. Oh, Indiana, no, it's not C.A. Smith.
Listen, I'm going to make it easy. The C is correct. The C.
Give us the first name and the last.
The C.
Give us the first name and the last.
I'm giving you the initial of the first one. C.
Okay, it's C. His first name starts with C. Anybody, look at y'all. These 2 tickets, this going to be lit on Saturday evening. Boy, we're going to have to save this for tomorrow then, Carlos.
No problem. All right, that's it. Since time running out, the next place
Who calls? Can have it.
Can get it. If you call right in right now, because I have about 30 seconds remaining on the show, you'll get these tickets. If not, tomorrow we got tons of tickets to give away. Well, at least 2 more sets. But listen, thank you all so much. Tomorrow we're talking
But you have to give them the answer before they go.
Oh, yes.
You
What's
must.
the answer?
Yeah.
What's the answer? Yes.
Mr. Conrad Knowles.
What a tickets to Conrad Knowles?
How much people know that, man?
Come on, guys.
I've never heard about
I'm
Conrad
glad you
Knowles.
ain't no teacher.
But I'll tell you about him. He is quite the historian.
I know.
He's quite the historian. Really super. Assistant Commissioner of Police Ken Strawn, thank you so much for
You're
joining
welcome,
us
Shanika.
today.
It's my pleasure.
My pleasure.
With all our calls.
Yes, absolutely. My pleasure, and I look forward to having you more. Ramond, Ramsey, awesome having you, and of course Carlos as well. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the social and moral decay of the Bahamian woman, how these young girls are finding it very easy to say, hey, you rolling? Okay, wait, because I getting ready. You rolling yet? Yeah. Yes. Look at the police looking at me. Stay exactly where you are. The news at 6 is straight ahead.
Health and wellness, transformation, yeah, we got
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, time is winding down for residents to vacate shanty towns across the capital. Hear what accommodations are available for the displaced. Ever wondered where millions of dollars of crawfish and conch goes after it is seized by authorities? We've got the answer. And Bahamian songbird Wendy Lewis wins big internationally.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. The countdown is on for those residing in illegal communities to vacate those shanty towns and find suitable accommodations. With the August 10th eviction deadline drawing near, the Christian community is lending a hand to those in need. Christian Council Vice President Archdeacon James Palacios says while it won't be easy for those residents, government must do its job.
I commend the government for this widespread consultation, whereby the various occupants have been duly notified about the pending action to demolish the shanty towns. The building code and other laws of the Bahamas must be upheld by one and all. It is indeed, however, a very painful experience for those communities, seeing their place of residence being bulldozed.
Palacios says the council plans to partner with the League of Haitian Pastors to help those displaced.
The people are really responsible for their own housing, and they were given adequate notice, and notwithstanding the difficulty, it is really their responsibility to do that. The truth is, I don't think the money is there, and that's where civic society has to come to the fore.
Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest says despite the outcry over the increase in value-added tax from 7.5% to 12% in this year's budget, government did what was needed to improve the country's financial standing and ultimately reduce debt. Turnquest was the guest speaker at the Rotary Club of Old Fort Bay's meeting Wednesday night, where he noted tough decisions had to be made in the interest of the country. He says raising taxes will help the government accomplish what it needs to, and after several years result in a $10 million surplus.
We could stick our heads in the sand, put the number on the paper that we want and carry on smartly. But again, that is not fair to us today, nor is it fair to the next generation, because all we're doing is pushing down the road these obligations. And so we decided to take the political risk and fix this problem so that by the time as we're finished this term in government, that we will have affected real positive change in the Bahamian economy, in the fiscal circumstances of the country, and put us on a path where we can actually start to make some positive decisions about our future.
Some good news for residents in Regatta Island as their water issues are being addressed. Water and Sewerage Chairman Adrian Gibson says as early as next week, a new water plant will be installed.
And the good thing is, the capacity of the plant allows the population of Regatta Island to increase exponentially without having any real impact on water. So persons could come in and they can build, and the population could increase a bit. So this is good for Regatta Island. This and it comes right in the hurricane, in the time, the hurricane season, so that persons are not left stranded if another storm was to come through Regatta Island. So that's one of the many areas of improvement and one of the many concerns that we're addressing with respect to water, whether that's the extension of mains or the provisioning of RO plants, as this one here in Regatta Island.
The National Health Insurance Authority is focusing on critical care as it finalizes the health care package. Chairman of the NHI Authority, Dr. Robin Roberts, says they are determined to introduce a program that will meet the needs of the public.
It is a plan in which we are seeking to incorporate the private sector as well as the public sector, and our next step within the next several weeks, we will be engaging the stakeholders, that is the Bahamian public and those respective entities that are involved in healthcare, and we will be having them participating into the plan that we hope that when we present it to the Bahamian people, that they will be very pleased that it will meet their healthcare needs.
Approximately 33,661 Bahamians are enrolled in the health plan that was launched last year. Health Minister Dr. Dwayne Sands recently announced that the authority would introduce the Bahama Care Fund that Bahamians would have to pay into to fund critical care. Robert says the authority has not decided on the name of the plan yet, but he is hopeful what it devises will be effective.
What we are looking at the end of the day is that we will have a basic package of benefits in which every Bahamian would have access to, and that will be available to them, and it will be available at a point whereby we will have low charge at the point of delivery of the service. That's what we are seeking to do.
And still to come, a woman convicted in a murder plot. You're watching the news leader first at 6.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I have flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no feud like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
My name is Paul Bevans. I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur. I've worked locally and internationally. If I was to describe Commonwealth Bank in a few words, it'll be fast, efficient service and friendly staff. Commonwealth Bank call themselves the leader in personal banking service. It's not just a tagline, it's real. I've experienced it, and that's why I'm still there. I would recommend Commonwealth Bank to my friends and family or business colleagues because I've experienced them over the 24 years, and I found them to be the same straight through.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanshawn to his prom.
KFC got the big meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What I said, what you take? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
A woman accused of a plot to kill a witness was convicted by jurors Wednesday afternoon. 27-year-old Karen Moss was found guilty of conspiring to murder O'Neill Marshall between April 30th and May 1st of 2016. Marshall was in the witness protection program. Police officers discovered his bullet-riddled body in a vehicle while patrolling through the parking lot of the Old City Market food store on Market Street. Moss will be sentenced on August 30th. In news from the courts, 37-year-old Anton Wright is now a free man after a jury cleared him of a murder charge. Wright was accused of fatally stabbing 22-year-old Theron Umbrister after they got into a fight at a party in the Kemp Road area 10 years ago. Jurors found Wright not guilty of murder by a count of 8-4 last evening. In order for someone to be convicted of murder, the count has to be unanimous. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force hosted an informative session updating environmentalists and mariners on the success of Operation Marlinspike. The operation seeks to reduce poaching, crack down on illegal trafficking and criminal activities, and enhance coordination with national law enforcement agencies. Defense Force Lieutenant Commander Colin Bethel says technologies such as drones and tracking systems will be coming on stream.
The decisive phase of Marlinspike seeks to speak directly to the issues, like, for instance, the issue of illegal migration. We want to make sure persons know that, hey, this is not just wrong, but it's dangerous. People risk their lives to travel hundreds of miles in really rickety boats in very rough weather conditions. We want to show them that it's a dangerous practice and it's also illegal. What a lot of people may not understand is that if you're caught, you're filed, you're processed. That immediately stops you from ever coming into the Bahamas legally to seek employment.
Lieutenant Commander Bethel says emphasis will also be placed on poaching.
The way that poaching is taking away from the marine resources that we have, some of the illegal practices are not sustainable. Some of the way that some of the fishes are taken, it just doesn't leave room for sustainability in a maritime environment. So we'll speak to poaching, drug trafficking.
For years, members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force have seized millions of dollars worth of conch, crawfish, grouper, and other fisheries from poachers. President of the Bahamas Commercial Fishers Alliance, Adrian LaRota, talks about what happens to those goods once seized.
They're actually taken possession of by the Ministry of Finance, and they're auctioned off to whoever. I think one time they went to public auction, but you know, sometimes it doesn't always work, so they're auctioned off to whoever wholesaler can do it, which I feel is the best way to do it, because sometimes the handling of these products is not the most sanitary. So it's better for the wholesaler to deal with it, who can implement sanitary measures to be able to be sure that the product is safe for the Bahamian consumer. Because, you know, these vessels are not kept up to HACCP standards, which is HACCP's critical point analysis that our Bahamian vessels are made to, standards our Bahamian vessels are made to meet, because we export internationally. They just do any old thing, you know, with their product, you know, and sometimes it could be a danger to the consumer.
Junkanoo is undoubtedly a big part of our Bahamian culture. The cowbells and goatskin drums are some of the significant instruments you will see. But as Jonathan Benson tells us, another instrument is catching on, and not just with the male genre.
I am the only female that does the kalaka.
Clarice Miller-Knowles is setting a new standard for women in Junkanoo, and it's not that hard to see why she has become so interested.
I like to feel the music. I think I've done everything that there is to do in Junkanoo, and I wanted to do something different that would show that there is female power, that we can do the impossible. The group I rush with, one family, they are open to accept whatever you want to do. And that's what I like. They're innovative in ideas. And so we set a standard. We may be young, but yet we set a standard on what Junkanoo should be and will be in the future.
As for the instrument itself, it's definitely unique, and the possibilities are endless.
It gives a nice rhythm to the bells, the cowbells itself, as well as the bass drum and the tom-tom drum. I know that it came through the police band, and it first came into one family, but now you can find it in every group. Everyone tries to play it. I've been to Eleuthera where I saw that people try to play the kalaka, but I know with one family, we have different beats now. We have a number 1 and a number 2, and we have the largest kalaka line there is in the Junkanoo today.
And the plan now is to get more women involved.
I reach out, but I guess they feel like it's a bit, looking at it, they feel like it's a bit strenuous or a bit heavy, but I've had this design to fit me, and so you can get it to fit you.
Jonathan Benson, ZNS Network News.
Bahamian music artist Wendy Lewis Knight received the award for the Music Video of the Year, defeating a number of other nominees at the International Soca Awards. The recording artist and her team have been making music videos since 2014, and this year she hit it big.
So I just recently won the International Soca Award for Music Video of the Year for Ain't Missing It. I'm tremendously excited. I can't really even say how excited I am. This happened on Independence Day. And to say that I wasn't expecting to win is an understatement. I was very happy to just be nominated, and then to learn on Independence Day that I actually won.
For Wendy, creating a music video called for a lot of hard work, as she puts a lot of time and effort into her music videos. At the same time, an artistic vision is very important to her.
I like when I see visuals. I like to combine many different forms of art. So you will notice that I dance as well, and I use professional dancers. So in my music, I'm incorporating dance, I'm incorporating fashion, of course I'm incorporating singing and performance, and also I make it a big deal to make sure that my songwriting is on point. So that's the literary arts. I'm really trying to combine as many things as possible. So I put a lot into my music videos because I want people to experience the art on multiple levels.
Stay close. Sports is up next. You're watching your news leader first at 6.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
The most important person in my life is my mom, because she helped me up when I am down, and she says with God help, the sky is the limit. Peace and quiet is what I like most about being in Over the Hill. I am over the hill.
The proceeding was brought to you courtesy of the Over the Hill project.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed though.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to Water and Switch.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop. How? Take your backside to Cash and Go. You pay all 3 of them bills one time. It's one line, one place, with a bunch of locations.
You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
What is a promise? A promise fulfilled can mean so much. A bond, a commitment, a yes in a world of maybes. We made a promise to you, and we delivered. Our superfast LTE network is now on every island. And every day we invest in local communities and technology. Because our promise is our guarantee. And now we promise. Our best is yet to come. Alive, believe in best.
Car insurance, home insurance, marine insurance, this insurance, that insurance. The truth is, you may not like it very much, but you need insurance, and it has to work for you. That's why Summit insurance policies are designed with you and your life in mind, fitting your lifestyle and needs perfectly. So you can rest comfortably knowing that your car, home, boat, and business are well taken care of. Contact our agents at Insurance Management today. Summit Insurance. We peak above all others.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Our ladies Fed Cup tennis team back on the court today at their America's Group 2 tie in Ecuador, following a 2-1 win over Bolivia on opening day. The 2-4-2 getting off to a bit of a rough start. Danielle Thompson losing the opening rubber 6-3-2. The second rubber would come down to a third set, but Kerry Cartwright would pull it out, meaning everything came down to the doubles. Now Cartwright, she would team there with Simone Pratt, and they pulled it out there as well in straight sets 6-4-3 to secure the 2-1 win. Team Bahamas will now close out pool play against Bermuda, who are 0-2, having failed to win a match so far. Freedom Forum still unable to get back on track at the Little League Baseball World Series Caribbean qualifier in Puerto Rico. Despite losing their final 3 games in round-robin play, Freedom Forum still making it through to the semifinals today as the number 4 seed. That meant they had to take on the top-seeded Puerto Ricans, who had yet to lose a game, and the hosts kept that perfect record intact with a 3-0 shutout. Freedom Forum will close out tournament play tomorrow in the consolation game against Aruba. Some of the NBA's biggest names in town for tonight's celebrity game at the Jeff Rogers basketball camp. But last night, the SLS Resort, the place to be, as a reception was held, giving everyone a chance to mix and mingle. Number 1 pick DeAndre Ayton home for the first time since the draft. NBA champion Klay Thompson also here. And for Klay, he can remember the first celebrity game he saw as a kid.
I remember seeing that game when I was 12 years old, seeing Travis Knight and Brian McKnight. Those were my 2 favorite players in the game. That's funny. I've even seen Brian McKnight hoop when I was 12 in Kendall Isaac's gym. To be playing it now, just, Kyrie's been out here, Draymond. Now we got DeAndre coming home. It's an amazing event. I mark it every time on my calendar, every summer. I always think of Jeff Rogers Celebrity Game. It's a staple in my family.
Klay's dad, Michael Sweetbells Thompson, the 242's first ever number 1 pick, also in town, and he has quite a prediction for the upcoming NBA season.
With the run on the Lakers and with the talent we have coming in,
and that was already there. I really believe the Lakers are the second best team in the West. I think we're going to be better than Houston, or at least as good as Houston. I don't think we'll beat the Warriors yet, but I expect, and remember you heard this here first, Western Conference Finals, Golden State versus the Lakers.
The Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association with action last night. The Battle of the Armed Forces won by the Defense Force Mariners. They won over the Police and Forces 63-42. Michael Ferguson 14 points in the win. The Airport Authority Avengers also in the win column over the Defense Force Patrollers 70-64. Cecil Mackey 19 points for the Avengers. The 23rd Annual Peace on the Streets Basketball Classic rolling along at the Hope Center. In the Church Division, the Hope Center defending their home turf, winning 21-16 over Life Changers.
It was important to feel out our teammates because most of us didn't play together before. Good first game. Looking forward to the next one.
I feel like we need to get more rebounds and box out and push the ball more, get more shots out, and our shooting ability we need to work on now.
Also holding court at the Peace on the Streets Classic, the Church of God, Burnett Road.
Thanks to these two young men and a few other guys. Thank God for the opportunity to be in this tournament. It's a very positive tournament, so we're here, but we come to win it all, through God.
And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
I got flying overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and, of course, mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more. Okay. BTC, the bigger, better network.
It's a step in a new direction. The ZNS television network rolling out morning news. The overnight developments, the breaking stories, and topical discussions. Join us as we keep you informed in the morning on television. Wake up with us beginning July 23rd at 7 a.m. on the ZNS television network. You are waking up with your ZNS news team. It's a new direction.
How much can the Bahamas cut its billion-dollar food import bill? What are we really producing to feed ourselves? What are the challenges facing food production in our country? How can you contribute to reducing our food import bill? Find the answers to these questions and much more. Watch Agriculture Now with Carla Palmer, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Food. It is as essential as air is to breathe and water is to drink. Food is life. But where does our food come from? The Bahamas has more than 2,000 farmers, but it's hardly enough to keep up with our growing population. Or is it? We traveled the nation to find out the answers to the questions everyone is asking. Can we feed ourselves?
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartend, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss, I just starting now. I still got to pay?
In regional news tonight, Jamaican Minister for Tourism Edmund Bartlett has stated that a $7.6 million Jamaican tourism workers' pension scheme is well on track and is part of the final puzzle to enhancing the overall human capital of people working in the industry. At an awareness session in New Kingston, Bartlett told workers that tourism directly employs some 117,000 workers, or 8.8% of the workforce, and noted plans to bring 29,000 more workers into the tourism industry by 2021. The Senate has given the nod to a child diversion bill which makes special provisions for dealing with children who are alleged, accused, or recognized to have infringed the law in Jamaica without resorting to the formal judicial proceedings. The objectives of the bill, which was piloted by Minister of Education, Youth and Information Senator Ruel Reid, are ensuring that every child in conflict with the law is treated in a manner that recognizes and upholds human dignity. A Trinidadian-born woman has been jailed in the United Kingdom for defrauding a charity she worked for of just over $1 million. Nadia Dion Chase Ali, 35, was sentenced to 6 years in prison after being convicted of fraud by abuse of position, theft, and removing money from England and Wales. And that's regional news tonight. Close, and that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. First.
.40 AM, 104.5 FM plays all the Bahamian hits. All the hits, one station. The Bahamas is moving to the music. Music that makes you feel good.
The scent of your skin is intoxicating.
Home of the #1 Bahamian music beat, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, the People Station.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People Station.
A progress report tonight on Grand Bahamas New Junior High School. A hospitality worker gets a top award, and Defense Force Rangers on a special tour.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, work is progressing on the new multi-million-dollar junior high school in West Grand Bahama. Construction has been ongoing now for almost 2 years, but completion has been delayed and it will not be ready for the new school term. Tonight, one of the contractors is outlining the reasons for the delay. Italia Hall has the update.
In 2016, 2 contracts worth some $11.5 million were awarded for the construction of the new junior high school that's now being built in the Holmes Rock community. The contracts were awarded to Brick House Construction, owned by Lloyd Roll, and RCL Construction, headed by Hilton Bolag, and in August 2018 was estimated to be the completion date. But one of the contractors, CEO of Brick House Construction, Lloyd Roll, says the project will be delayed due to a few hiccups based on a budget change and some additional features to the school.
The janitorial block, the cafeteria for the kids, and so it kind of
give us an additional time for our scheduling.
There will be a total of 25 air-conditioned classrooms and an elevator. He says there are about 30 employees currently on site working to complete the project.
The colors on the building, and it resembles the government high schools, you can see. All right, we have trailers that are coming in today with all the tiles and some windows and doors. That should kind of bring us almost to the finish line.
Now, Roll says he and his team are now going to focus on the inside of the building, and he's expected to be completed with his part of the project by the end of the year.
Now, bear in mind, there are two contractors here. Brick house construction will be finished by the end of the year. The other contract, he'll have to speak for himself. I can't speak for him, but I think, based on what I can see, chances will be as well.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Member of Parliament for North Abaco encouraging his constituents to take advantage of the educational benefits at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, BTVI. It was during the recent budget debate that it was announced that Bahamians can receive certifications, diplomas, and associate degrees in a wide range of courses from BTVI. But interested persons must be full-time students, which is equivalent to 12 credits a semester. Hanfield is advising Bahamians to embrace this initiative.
I realize that in North Abaco in particular, we have a lot of very bright young people, very capable young people. And when I begin to look at some of their academic achievements, I'm very encouraged. I think we're going to do very well. I'm particularly excited for them about BTVI. Not everybody wants to go and be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, or some other profession like that. We're going to need plumbers, we're going to need carpenters, we're going to need people to do some welding. Welding is a big industry in Grand Bahama, where you know we need more Bahamians to be engaged in it. And so we're hoping that BTVI, with the amount of money that the government is putting into BTVI, will be able to really move a cadre of young Bahamians who feel like they can work with their hands or do something else outside of the regular professional environment.
In other news, ITEL BPO, a Caribbean-based outsourcer here in Freeport, says that after securing a contract to serve U.S.-based utilities, the unit is expected to grow by an additional 100%. ITEL BPO, which employs 150 persons in Freeport, specializes in handling customer queries through phone and digital services. Now, it has some 1,500 employees company-wide. ITEL BPO's future plans include an expansion of its global workforce to some 5,000 staff members within the next 5 years, including bringing its work from home model into the Caribbean. The planned expansion includes staff increases at its Freeport location, as well as continued diversification of the services offered here. Switching gears now, a Grand Bahamian in the industry has captured a prestigious award. This award comes at a time when the tourism sector remains sluggish. But for this tourism ambassador, it is a symbol of what can be achieved when you persevere. Kimberly Mullings has more.
I would have been in tourism for more than 23 years.
Jennifer Alice started her service career in 1995. She worked in various capacities and in a number of positions over the years in several different departments.
I would have started out at the Grand Bahama Beach Hotel as a front desk agent. I would have moved up the managerial ladder, going into human resources, a short stint in the administrative department. While I was in human resources, my manager of human resources, Miss Ferguson, one day came to me and she said, "Jennifer, I have a job for you." I was so excited. I was like, wow, she got a job for me. And I was thinking it's outside of the hotel. And she said, no. It's a job that's, in the banquets department. And so I was like, banquets? What am I going to be doing in banquets?
Alice's journey wouldn't end there. She took the job and then another department opened offering destination wedding services. She said she wanted to find a way to make things easier for her clients, so she prepared packages for them, and she's been there ever since.
I enjoy weddings. I love the look of love on their faces once they say I do, and they come back and say, "Jennifer, everything was just as we would have imagined." It makes me feel so good.
During her time, she has built a number of rewarding relationships with guests. all because she continuously puts her best foot forward.
After 20 plus years, it just means that someone finally recognized the contributions that I would have made. I'm truly excited about it. I'm ecstatic. It's just an awesome feeling.
This year, Ellis was nominated for the Bahamian Icon Award for Tourism by her best friend, Margaret Pennerman, and a niece of hers in Nassau. She says she was overjoyed to win.
My thing is, those persons that are coming here, they don't know anybody on the island. They're coming to a place they've never been before, some of them. And so when I speak with them, you know, I kind of tell them about the island, I tell them about the food, I tell them about the beautiful people that they're going to meet, and I just sell the Bahamas, and I sell my resort.
She leaves this bit of advice for those in the hospitality industry in the Bahamas.
Once you clock in, once you swipe that card, you're on stage. You are on stage and you're getting paid to perform. You signed on to give a certain level of service. And if you feel as though you can't give that level of service, then maybe you shouldn't be in the hospitality industry.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There is more news right after this break.
Freeport's original home center.
Musicians, churches, nightclubs, Radio Shack is now stocked with heavy-duty power amps, powered speakers, subwoofers, cordless and wired microphones, lavaliers, guitar strings, drumsticks, skins and accessories, guitar and bass amps, DI boxes, crossovers, line conditioners, percussion instruments, clarinet and saxophone reeds, PA systems, mixers, routers, hard drives, sound cards, tablets, MacBook Pro power cords and adapters, and so much more at the new Radio Shack at Dolly Madison Home Center.
Come on down.
Tired of the endless bank fees and long lines? The Grand Bahama Cooperative Credit Union is the solution to making your money work for you by providing you with free financial counseling, higher interest on savings plans, and lower interest rates on loans. Savings products such as Christmas and vacation club, fixed deposits, and annuity savings allow our members to prepare for today and tomorrow without all of the hassle. Join satisfied Bahamians who left their banking frustrations behind. Open an account with GBCCU 352-4139.
You can win big with Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal. Not only will you get 2 delicious medium one-topping pizzas, 5 breadsticks, and juicy wings, and a refreshing 2-liter Coke, you get to enter to win a fabulous 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 with Gateway Travel on Carnival Cruise Lines.
Mom and Dad can use it, and we got money.
Pizza Hut's Big Dinner Box Summer Deal can make you a winner. Other prizes also available. Win big.
To love, you look worried today.
Belinda, you know, I have 2 more rooms to complete. Now, I've been from 7 to 12%. How in the world am I supposed to do this?
Here at Island Bedding, we know things have been pretty thin for the past few years.
You think?
15 years, Island Bedding has been keeping Bahamian shopping at home by providing quality products at affordable prices.
Belinda, Island Bedding prices is good. It is really, really good. Your price is going to increase also to 12%. Just saying, Belinda.
Nah, Dr. Love, look here. Seeing is believing. With the upcoming change in VAT to 12%, we have adjusted too to keep our products affordable. And we did it too.
Now listen here, Island Bedding have done it again, kicking up a whole notch.
Now you know you're getting value for your dollar.
Visit our showroom today on Queens Highway.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Steppin' Out. Satisfy your style habits with shoes for every occasion. Steppin' Out, when you want to put your best foot forward.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. They are called Ahead of the Game chess team, and they are gearing up for their annual trip abroad. Our Megan Shepard stopped by the chess camp and has the details on this year's camp as well as the upcoming competition in Chicago, Illinois.
Math teacher and chess coach Sean Sorsby says that this year the summer chess camp expanded to include math classes for BJC, BGCSE, and SAT prep. He says that as a math teacher, he realized that students did not fully understand the need for math classes in everyday life. So he also included finance classes to prepare them for real-life situations.
What we're doing is we're saying there's real topics. Money. Everybody know that they need money. You know that you need to save it. You should know that you need to invest it. You should know what a stock is. You should know what a bond is. You should know what real estate investment is. So we're bringing those real life topics and we're integrating that with the math. And it's been really good because with chess, it's a game that teaches you how to solve problems. So they're learning how to solve the problems not only in the classroom, but the problems that's in life too.
For the past 3 years, Sorsby has taken a group of students on an international trip, which exposes them to different cultures and international competition. This year, they will return to Chicago for the second time. Sorsby says that it is important to expose students to life beyond Grand Bahama.
It's going to be a cultural experience. We're going to be going to museums, we'll be going on college tours, we'll get to see what downtown is like, and we'll also play chess. So I always say that this is bigger than chess. They play chess, but they're getting exposure of life, and a game of chess is really like the game of life. You're learning to think ahead. You're learning to make better decisions. You're learning if I see my future, if I see it, then I can actually get it. And we should want our children and future generation to know that they can compete with anybody, and they're supposed to be there. They can get off this island and do anything they want to all around the whole world.
He says he is very thankful to those who have helped make this year's trip a reality, but he is hoping that more children will be able to take part in the future.
Because we want to share to people this is what we're doing. We know it's something new, but the more help we get, the more that we can do. We're only taking 7 children this year. We wish we could take more. So hopefully with other people's help, once they see what we're doing, next year we'll open it up to the whole island.
Students Brianna Bowe and Wilton Cartwright say they enjoyed this year's camp and they are excited about traveling to compete.
I feel excited and nervous at the same time, and as I go, I remember all the steps that Ms. Sorsby teach me.
The camp is really amazing. It allows most of us kids to learn about financial troubles and all the things we need to start businesses, learn about investing, and we have a chessboard which helps us to think critically and help us even in our maths, and it has really helped me going as I am going to Chicago because it helped me improve my chess skills. Every day Ms. Sorsby helps each and every one of us to get better at maths and our chess and even in our financial goals.
The team is set to travel on July 25th. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
We may be in the middle of summer, but back to school is just around the corner. On August 5th, the Freeport Seventh-day Adventist Evangeline Jervis Center will host a gospel extravaganza with huge giveaways of school uniforms, books, clothes, and shoes. Member of the Education Committee, Alicia Dion Wildgoose, says that they're inviting the community of Grand Bahama, particularly those who are in need, to come out.
We will be affording students the opportunity to get uniforms. We have some new uniforms, some lightly used uniforms, and also school supplies that they can get. We're going to have cotton candy, we're going to have snow cone, we're going to have a health corner where people can check their pressure, blood sugar. We're going to have an evangelistic corner where students can just, or parents, just people can come out and see different material about the love of Jesus. We're also going to have food on sale. It's going to be a huge extravaganza. But again, the most important thing is we will be giving back to the community.
Alicia Jervis Garland, Education Director, says that on that day, a gospel trunk extravaganza competition will also take place.
We'll have a competition where people will come with a Bible theme and they will decorate their trunks according to the theme. It is a competition, so we want it to look good and express the theme that is given. There will be trophies and prizes for those who enter. You have to enter, get your theme, work on it, and it will be displayed here on the field.
Now, persons interested in donating items for the Gospel Give Back can do so at the Evangeline Jervis Center from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you are interested in the Gospel Trunk Extravaganza, you can contact the center for more information. Well, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Rangers camp on a different mission this year. On Thursday morning, a group of about 20 Rangers from various islands in the country visited the ZNS Northern Service, where they learned about the operations and got a first-hand view of news production. Marine Seaman Michael Turner says that they are lending assistance and teaching the campers about journalism and mass communication.
We're in our first phase. We're dealing a lot with news writing. And next week we're going to be going into photography. Then we'll go into video and graphics. And the whole idea is to expose the kids to a lot of the options that they do have. ZNS is the voice of the Bahamas. And so we just thought that the experience for them to see exactly what it is that you do, in addition to what they would have learned in the classroom, would have been a good one for them. ZNS has been around for a while. So we know that they have longevity and consistency, and so we thought it would be a good option.
Certainly right. Well, the campers got a chance to hear from the Deputy Director of Television, Brando Stewart, who gave them advice on following their dreams, working hard, and never giving up when in pursuit of your goals. Campers were quite receptive.
Today, in the rooms and all of the important equipments that I saw, how they bring in the videos and bring them out, how they edit the videos, ma'am, it really got me, and I really appreciate the tour today, ma'am.
The thing that I found interesting about in today's tour is how they arrange their editing, how they pick one piece of what they've already recorded and put it inside their story, especially how the writers, they take their time, they put effort into what they write.
When he told us about his journey about getting inside of ZNS, it really motivated me to keep pushing and never stop until I reach my dreams and accomplish my goals.
And we had a wonderful time with them today. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Marcus asked, when I go to the bathroom, every once in a while I see what looks like blood in my stool, but I have no pain. Is this something I should worry about? Marcus, thanks for your question, which is related to an issue that is more common than you might think. Blood in the stool is caused by bleeding somewhere in your gastrointestinal or GI tract. That's the system that digests and eliminates the food we eat. Bleeding from the lower portion of the GI tract, mainly most of the small intestines, colon, anus, and rectum, can show up in stool, and there are many people who visit doctors' offices or are admitted to the hospitals each year to be treated for conditions related to bleeding. Hemorrhoids, which are enlarged veins in the anal area that can rupture and produce bright red blood, are the most common cause of lower GI bleeding. Anal fissures or tears in the lining of the anus can also cause bleeding and are often very painful. Other conditions like colon polyps, cancer of the colon or rectum, some intestinal infections, Crohn's disease, and ulcerative colitis, which are inflammatory conditions, can all cause bleeding. Some of these can be serious, so if you experience any bleeding while passing stool, please see a doctor or visit one of our community clinics as soon as possible. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
My name is Marcy Pickstock. We've been in existence for over 10 years now. We're centrally located downtown, next to John West Shoe Store. We specialize in hair care, basically transformation. It's whatever you like. You can come to us and we'll fix you right up. We do nails, we do special treatments, we do consultation. We offer hair care, transformation. Whatever type of hairstyles that you like, we can give it to you. We do nails, we do pedicures, manicures. We also specialize in caps, weaves, treatments. Our contact is 533-9326. The shop number is 352-2220.
here. Reduce that power bill today with solar systems and lights. Solar Up Bahamas, giving you free power throughout the Bahamas.
Welcome to Jags International. We have Celebration, Valeria, FRS, Bahamas Air, Hotel, car vouchers now on sale.
Girls, I tried book my ticket online with them ferry them. So complicated, they asking for too much.
That's why I stick to Jags. No agency fees, cash and credit, all the same. Low deals and spectacular services with a smile.
Yes, that's Jags, your one-stop shop to Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, and Miami.
We even offer cheap car rental vouchers to all our thrifty Hertz and VIP service.
Book now with Jags and get their $5 discount card. And don't forget the super sales going on.
We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Build your dreams, sail the seas. It's all going down this weekend at the 23rd Annual Grand Bahama Regatta and Homecoming, Tano Beach. Food, games, and drinks. See you there.
Topping Sports Beach Volleyball is back on Grand Bahama. It is part of the 23rd Annual Grand Bahama Regatta and Homecoming celebration set to tip off this weekend. Jay Philippe has this report.
The Bahamas Beach Volleyball Club and the Grand Bahama Regatta Committee coming together to host the inaugural co-ed 4-on-4 beach volleyball tournament Saturday, July 21st at Tano Beach. Teams are allowed a maximum of 6 players and a female must play at all times during the match. If a team is predominantly female, then at least one male must play at all times. Tori Simmons is your tournament director.
What we aim for is a 16-team kind of single elimination type tournament, and we've put together a cash prize for first, second, and third place.
Beach volleyball is an Olympic sport, and Simmons hopes to somehow assist in creating a competitive team to compete on the world-class level. For persons who are interested in playing, Simmons outlines the structure of this year's beach volleyball tournament that includes single elimination play.
We're having it on a first-come, first-served basis. We hope that we get good weather to facilitate it, but other than that, it's just friendly competition. There's no restriction on experience or age or anything. It's just about coming out, having fun. Just another activity to add to the regatta event, and hopefully it'll be something that's done every year.
Registration deadline is July 21st, and you can register by contacting the Grand Bahama Regatta Committee or Tori Simmons at limasierra8u@gmail.com or Frederick at fhall351@gmail.com. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jay Philippe.
Thanks, Jay. Well, the games should be fun and exciting with a number of other onshore activities such as a sack race, watermelon eating contest, regatta tugging, and regatta scavenger hunt. That should be fun. I think Jay and I will enter the watermelon eating contest. Well, an organization continuing to do their part to get Bahamians more involved with the country's natural resources. Waterkeepers Bahamas hosting the 2nd annual Splash Mania event, and that was over the weekend. Italia Hall was there.
The trophies were lined off and ready for the winners of all of the various categories. Executive Director of Waterkeepers Bahamas, Rashima Ingram, says Splash Mania is all a part of their mandate to engage Bahamians by getting them involved in water activities to remove all fears.
We believe that each Bahamian should know how to swim, and this is just the first step in getting them to feel the water, to know that it's here for them. Some of the hot races are definitely going to be those races between the Greek organizations and of course the companies. We have Gombe Line Races who are out here. We have the Rotaract Club who will be racing under the civic categories. And we also have Keys Bahamas. Grand Bahama Power Company has 2 teams out this year. So they're really out here to find some way to win that first place prize. But the really exciting races, in my opinion, will be those fitness organizations. The Compound and Fitness Connection definitely will be out there trying to see who's the fittest of the Nesbits.
Ingram says she is pleased that this year there's a lot more corporate support. These participants say it's all about giving back and having some good fun.
We are definitely excited to be a part of the kayak relays today. We came here for the win. We are a family, so we're going to compete with some fun, family-friendly competition and walk away with the win today.
Be a part of this year's competition just so we could get our name out there, and we also like to support Waterkeepers. We were here last year to support them, and we just want to continue to be a part of their community, bringing awareness to Waterkeepers Clean Water Initiative.
We're looking forward to actually winning this race today. We all excited to be a part of it. I know this is a worthy cause, so we definitely want to be a part of it.
The biggest competition for the day was the kayak competition. All of the funds raised will go to Waterkeepers Bahamas environmental youth programs. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Total Sports. Thanks, Tawi, and that is a check on sports.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Freeport Jewelers in Port Lucaya. Fashion starts here.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshina Wolf-Farquharson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
In the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, the Christian Response. The council reaches out as Shantytown residents prepare to move out. A woman convicted in a murder-for-hire plot. Restoring Ragged Island, the latest infrastructural upgrade for the island. And what happens to all that crawfish after poachers strike? The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
The Christian Council pledging to assist in the Shantytown transition for hundreds of residents. Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, Bahamas Christian Council Vice President Archdeacon James Palacios is describing the demolition of shantytowns as a painful experience for residents who are forced to leave the homes they've lived in for so many years. And while the Christian Council is ready to help those who will be displaced, as DeAndre Williamson tells us tonight, some shantytown residents are finding relocation a challenge.
The days are winding down for Haitians to vacate their shantytowns, and many are still wondering where they'll go.
I don't find I was full live because I can't do nothing because I can't move.
It was like a little too soon. They should have given us a little notice, like from the beginning of the year.
The problem is there's more kids in the backyard than adults in the backyard. And majority of adults, they ain't financially fit. I'm playing them trying to find somewhere, and some of them ain't finding nowhere, and then probably through the fact that certain people probably ain't willing to rent certain people.
I not working. Every month, insurance give me something. I go, that's all I live.
The Bahamas Christian Council plans to partner with the League of Haitian Pastors to help accommodate displaced residents. So far, the League has received financial support from the private sector.
That hasn't been formally established, but that would definitely be the route that we would choose to take. Similar to what you might do, say, in a natural disaster. You have to have a proper coordination of the effort so that you get the best bang for the buck, and the money goes in areas where it is most needed.
Shantytowns like this one here will eventually be demolished, and residents have until August 10th to leave this property. Christian Council Vice President Archdeacon James Palacios says it's a painful experience for residents to watch their homes be bulldozed, particularly after spending most of their lives there.
They have invested heavily in the buildings and in the communities themselves. It is heart-wrenching, to say the least, for many of us who are not a part of those communities. So we can only imagine what it must be for the people who live there. The dislocation is tremendous and, of course, traumatic.
Overall, he believes the government is working extensively to eradicate shantytowns across the country.
I commend the government for this widespread consultation, whereby the various occupants have been duly notified about the pending action to demolish the shantytowns. The building code and other laws of the Bahamas must be upheld by one and all.
So, should the government help residents find housing?
The government's position is no, because the government is cash-strapped, and it's a bad political move.
However, Archdeacon James Palacios urges Bahamians to help residents readjust to the financial and social realities of a new life and a new location. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Hubert Minnis returned home this morning from his two-day official trip to New York City. On Wednesday, the Prime Minister attended a bilateral meeting at the United Nations headquarters with the head of Singapore's delegation to the UN on matters that arose from a previous meeting with the Prime Minister of Singapore on the proposed digital transformation of the Bahamas. Accompanying the Prime Minister at that meeting was permanent representative of the Bahamas to the UN, Her Excellency Ambassador Sheila Carey, and Chief Operating Officer in the Prime Minister's Delivery Unit, Vienna Gardner. Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Peter Turnquest says despite the outcry over the increase in VAT from 7.5% to 12% in this year's budget, the government did what was needed to improve the country's financial standing and ultimately reduce debt. Minister Turnquest was the guest speaker at the Rotary Club of Old Fort Bay's meeting Wednesday night. He noted tough decisions had to be made in the interest of the country. He says government had to address some $360 million in liabilities and find funds to address the government payroll, which had ballooned, particularly in the months leading to the 2017 general election. The Minister of Finance says raising taxes will help the government accomplish what it needs to do, and after several years results in a $10 million surplus.
We could stick our heads in the sand, put the number on the paper that we want, and carry on smartly. But again, that is not fair to us today, nor is it fair to the next generation. because all we're doing is pushing down the road these obligations. And so we decided to take the political risk and fix this problem, so that by the time as we're finished this term in government, that we will have affected real positive change in the Bahamian economy, in the fiscal circumstances of the country, and put us on a path where we can actually start to make some positive decisions about our future.
Minister Turnquest says the fact is the public is largely dependent on government, something that has been fostered over the years, but he says everything has a cost. The finance minister added that had the government not acted when it did, it would have had to borrow about $700 million, with a large percentage of that designated solely to covering interest. He says while some suggest allowing the economy to grow with the opening of Bahamar, that is uncertain.
I've been doing this now 5 years, 6 years. The IMF has not been correct in their projection once, not once, and not by a little bit, right? Yeah. So when you look at the growth rates over time, you will quickly realize that the average growth rate is about 1%. And in the last 5 years, we've had negative growth. The best performing year was last year when it was 0.3%. Negative growth, I think, last year. So while, yes, I can take the gamble and say the economy is going to grow, the truth of the matter is whatever result is going to happen from that is going to be delayed.
Free National Movement Chairman Carl Culmer boasting in a statement today that the Free National Movement government has lived up to its pledge of changing the country for the better. He specifically noted that the recent improvement in tourism has been encouraging and that the country has been setting all-time records regarding tourists arriving by air for several months in a row. He acknowledged the announcement of American Airlines' newly added flight from New York's LaGuardia International Airport to Nassau, which begins in December. He believes this will allow for additional arrivals from one of the largest global tourist markets and provide the Bahamas with additional travel options. Chairman Culmer also pointed out that the government is changing the perception of people and investor confidence in the Bahamas. Now that the Bahamas is safe, corruption will not be tolerated, and government is taking the right steps to clean up the fiscal mess that the previous PLP government left behind. Well, veteran accountant and incoming president of Commonwealth Bank, Raymond Winder, is calling on stakeholders to explore new financial markets to boost the country's financial services industry. He says now is the time for real value to be brought to the table to substantiate why firms should do business in the Bahamas.
We still have opportunities. Obviously, we're going to have to fight real hard. We're going to have to work real hard because the competition is keener. We realize that the European nations are utilizing whatever methods and means they can to remove some of the competitive advantages that we have as a country. And so we've got to constantly redefine our processes and our strategies as to how we attract new companies in that industry.
Well, mutual funds, captive insurance, and private banking are some of the areas that Winder is suggesting can be taken advantage of now. He maintains there are opportunities, but it requires government and residents to be innovative. He added that Bahamians can no longer rely on traditional means of employment.
I see the government remove the tariffs from the airline. That's an area that we want to explore. When we look at the fact that we are a country surrounded by so much water, you know, so many individuals would like to take advantage of the opportunity of boating through the Bahamas. That's an opportunity to explore how we can, you know, for a small fee, allow those boats to continually, you know, travel through the Bahamas. Right now, we haven't tapped that market to the extent that we have.
Chairman of the National Health Insurance Authority Board, Dr. Robin Roberts, says the body is busy attempting to finalize the package for national health insurance with specific focus on critical care. Once that is finalized, he says, the next step will involve consultation with stakeholders. Roberts says the authority is determined to introduce a program that will meet the needs of the Bahamian public.
It's a plan in which we are seeking to incorporate the private sector as well as the public sector, and our next step within the next several weeks, we will be engaging the stakeholders, that is the Bahamian public and those respective entities that are involved in healthcare, and we will be having them participating into the plan that we hope that when we present it to the Bahamian people, that they will be very pleased that it will meet their healthcare needs.
Well, nearly 34,000 Bahamians are enrolled in the health plan that was launched last year. The Minister of Health, the Honorable Dr. Dwayne Sands, recently announced the authority would introduce the Bahama Care Fund that Bahamians would have to pay into to fund critical care. Robert says the authority hasn't settled on a name yet, but he's hopeful that it will be effective.
What we are looking at the end of the day is that we will have a basic package of benefits in which every Bahamian would have access to, and that will be available to them, and it will be available at a point whereby we will have low charge at the point of delivery of the service. That's what we are seeking to do.
Well, still ahead tonight, the Water and Sewage Corporation planning to resolve water woes in Regatta Island. And hear more about the Defense Force's Operation Marlinspike. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Shell, fueling journeys that matter. Summer promotion.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
When school ends, BTC summer vacation begins. That means freedom to switch it up and break a few rules.
And after in overseas and when she touch down, she not stop call me. And I nothing for me breed, girl. Me want no cute like a Bob Marley. Me fix them.
Freedom to mix and of course mingle. Freedom to go wild and take the fun to a whole new level. Join the BTC Summer Vacation for exclusive rewards, cool prizes, and more.
Okay.
BTC, the bigger, better network.
Here comes the lucky guy who won a date with Fanchon to his prom.
KFC got the big deal meal, freshly handmade every day for real.
Made fresh every day?
What I said, what you think? KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a real big deal. KFC got the big deal meal. Hey, it's a
now that's a big deal.
Hey, it's a real big deal. Hey, it's a real big deal.
There's nothing as powerful as knowing where you belong. No more waiting. It's time to come home. Come home to friendly smiles. Come home to convenience. Come home to more interest on savings and lower fees. Come home to our bank and your bank. Come home to Bank of the Bahamas, your bank of solutions.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits.
From Grand Bahama to San Salvador.
Just around the corner when you need us.
For every celebration
and relaxation.
Committed to quality and service since 1953.
With renowned wines,
rums and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits, always with ice cold beer.
And attractive promotions.
Here for you as we've always been. One name, one people, united in wines and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Water and Sewage Corporation has a resolution for Ragged Island's water woes. The island is still plagued with a water dilemma since last year's Hurricane Irma. Water and Sewage Corporation Chairman Adrian Gibson announced that a water plant was purchased for the island and should be installed by next week.
And the good thing is, the capacity of the plant allows the population of Ragged Island to increase exponentially without having any real impact on water. So persons could come in and they can build, and the population could increase a bit. So this is good for Ragged Island. This and it comes right in the hurricane, in the time, the hurricane season, so that persons are not left stranded if another storm was to come through Ragged Island. So that's one of the many areas of improvement, and one of the many concerns that we are addressing with respect to water, whether that's the extension of mains or the provisioning of RO plants, as this one here in Ragged Island.
Gibson says other family islands with water issues will be given similar treatment.
We are currently extending mains in San Salvador. There's a plan there that we're looking to address as well. Extending mains in South Andres. We have addressed, we've signed the contract for the plant there. We're extending mains in my constituency, Long Island. We are addressing sewer matters in Treasure Key, Abaco. And extending mains down there. And in respect to Cedar Harbor, we've already addressed some of the concerns there. We are looking at Crooked Island for some waterworks and a few other islands. I just spoke in the House to the member for Exuma and Ragged Island, and I'm sure he's grateful about Ragged Island getting the water plant, but he's also speaking to me about some works in Little Exuma. And whilst we've not budgeted for it, he's been discussing a public-private partnership.
In news from the courts tonight, a jury has cleared 37-year-old Anton Wright of murder. Wright was accused of fatally stabbing 22-year-old Theron Ambrister after they got into a fight at a party in the Kemp Road area 10 years ago. Jurors found Wright not guilty of murder by a count of 8-4 last evening. In order for someone to be convicted of murder, the count has to be unanimous. A woman accused of a plot to kill a witness was convicted by jurors Wednesday afternoon. Jurors found 27-year-old Karen Moss guilty of conspiring to murder O'Neill Marshall between April 30th and May 1st of 2016. Marshall was in the Witness Protection Program. Police officers discovered his bullet-riddled body in a vehicle while patrolling through the parking lot of the Old City Market food store on Market Street. Moss will be sentenced on August 30th. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force Harbor Patrol Unit joined Port Authority officers earlier this week to conduct a joint operation which entailed boarding and searching operations within the Prince George Wharf and Paradise Island areas. The Defense Force team boarded 23 vessels, with 7 of them being penalized for expired licenses or incomplete documents. Vessels were later released upon presentation of proper documentation. However, operators were cautioned and reminded to always have their documents current. The Royal Bahamas Defense Force hosted an informative session updating environmentalists and mariners on the success of Operation Marlinspike. The operation seeks to reduce poaching of marine resources, report illegal trafficking and criminal activity, and enhance coordination with national law enforcement agencies. Defense Force Lieutenant Commander Carlin Bethel says new technologies such as a drone program and a new tracking system will be coming on stream.
The decisive phase of Marlinspike seeks to speak directly to the issues, like, for instance, the issue of illegal migration. We want to make sure persons know that, hey, this is not just wrong, but it's dangerous. People risk their lives to travel hundreds of miles in really rickety boats in very rough weather conditions. We want to show them that it's a dangerous practice and it's also illegal. What a lot of people may not understand is that if you're caught, you're filed, you're processed. That immediately stops you from ever coming into the Bahamas legally to seek employment.
Lieutenant Commander Bethel says emphasis will also be placed on poaching.
The way that poaching is taking away from the marine resources that we have, some of the illegal practices are not sustainable. Some of the way that some of the fishes are taken, it just doesn't leave room for sustainability in a maritime environment. So we'll speak to poaching, drug trafficking.
For years, members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force have seized millions of dollars in conch, crawfish, and scalefish taken in by illegal fishermen on the high seas. But the question is, what actually happens to the confiscated goods even after the poachers are arrested, charged before a magistrate, and deported? We put the question to the president of the Bahamas Commercial Fisheries Alliance, Adrian Larota.
They're actually taken possession of by the Ministry of Finance, and they're auctioned off to whoever. I think one time they went to public auction, but sometimes it doesn't always work, so they're auctioned off to whoever wholesaler can do it, which I feel is the best way to do it, because sometimes the handling of these products is not the most sanitary. So it's better for the wholesaler to deal with it, who can implement sanitary measures to be able to be sure that the product is safe for the Bahamian consumer. Because these vessels are not kept up to HACCP standards, which is hazardous critical point analysis that our Bahamian vessels are made to. Standards our Bahamian vessels are made to meet, because we export internationally. They just do any old thing, with their product, and sometimes it could be a danger to the consumer.
Royal Bahamas Police Force officers arrested 3 persons during an early morning armed robbery. Authorities say sometime after 2 o'clock this morning, 3 armed men entered the Ministry of Education's Learning Resources Unit on Mackey Street, held a security officer and another man at bay, and robbed the officer of a cell phone and a set of keys before tying him up. Officers of the operational unit, Steady the Land, and the mobile division quickly responded, and after a short chase captured the 3 men. The officers then recovered a 9mm pistol, 12 rounds of ammunition, and the stolen property. Police say the security officer was not harmed. However, the second man, who was gun-butted, was taken to hospital, where he's listed in stable condition. Investigations continue.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly. The Department of Statistics released its Foreign Trade Publication 2017. The report illustrates that diesel topped the 25 commodities imported to the Bahamas as of December 31st, 2017. Also on that was motor gasoline, baggage entry, jet fuel, used vehicles, jewelry, and wine. Block and shape molding and beads, spiny lobster tails, sea salt, and conch top the export list. The United States of America tops the country that imports and exports the most to the Bahamas. In other business news, the Bahamas International Securities Exchange is announcing that shares of Leno International Investment Fund, Leno International Income Fund Class A shares have successfully completed the BISX mutual fund listing process. Now, as a result, these shares have now been added to the roster of funds listed on the exchange. Leno International Investment Fund is an open-ended mutual fund. Leno's president, Sean Longley, says this fund will provide an easy and convenient way for Bahamian investors to invest their savings in the global markets. And in international news, Disney has won the war for 21st Century Fox. Comcast announced Thursday that it will drop its pursuit of the 21st Century Fox assets that it was fighting over with Disney. Comcast had bid $65 billion for Fox's movie studio, which is responsible for franchises like Avatar and X-Men, along with Fox's regional sports networks and cable channels like FX and National Geographic. Disney's most recent bid was $71 billion. Now, the battle with Disney isn't completely over. Comcast said Thursday that it will continue to pursue its bid for British broadcaster Sky, which Disney is also trying to buy through Fox. Comcast has offered $34 billion for that company. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Gowderly.
Tourism today, Bahamas tourism today.
While there's lots to see and do at this year's Junkanoo Summer Festival, there's even more to taste, as scores of food vendors are participating in the event at Arawak Key. According to Culinary Manager at the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation, Deanne Gibson, only the most creative and mouth-watering dishes are on the menu to give locals and visitors an authentic taste of the Bahamas.
This year we have 40 vendors that are active vendors, so every week you can come and you may not see the same vendor. We had to give the vendors a rotation of 3 weeks. We have some different food this year. We have somebody doing seafood duffs that are really, really different. We have, of course, the tropical gyros, of course, Batter Girls, one of the favorites. We have, of course, Miss Cash, Andrew's extravaganza, and of course it's crab season, so we have crab in all sorts of different ways. We have a lot of different versions of icy, cold, slushy drinks, and so it's, you know, the creativity is really being seen in our food and beverage industry, so I'm really, really excited about what we have to offer this year.
Dishes like minced fish duff, lobster crab and conch fritters, conch cakes, fried fish, sweet treats, and icy cool drinks are all available at the site. Vendors say there's no question why they decided to be a part of the festival.
It's really beneficial, and we have both local and international customers. We even have returning customers actually from internationally who come back looking for the Batter Girls.
Hungry for more? Well, every Saturday up until August 4th, there's food games like pineapple and watermelon eating competitions. There's also a farmer's market, and culinary demonstrations from different renowned chefs begin at 4 p.m. For the Tourism Today Network, I'm Kendia Smith.
Extraordinary could be right there in front of you, without you even knowing it. It's something unique, rich and rewarding, full of character. A bold expression of flavor like no other. Discover extraordinary flavor. Guinness, made of more.
What is a promise? A promise fulfilled can mean so much. A bond, a commitment, a vow. It's a yes in a world of maybes. We made a promise to you, and we delivered. Our super-fast LTE network is now on every island. And every day we invest in local communities and technology so we can deliver the best of everything to you. Our promise is our guarantee. And now we promise our best is yet to come. Alive, believe in best.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, at any time, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
At Outback Marathon Mall, there are no rules, and that's just right. We are the tasty and affordable choice for both indoor and outdoor dining, watching the big game on big screens, or just having a few with friends at the bar. Our friendly staff at Outback love to make your family dinners, lunch meetings, hangouts, and birthday celebrations a blooming good time. Dine in, take out, or have us bring Outback to your event with just a call. At Outback, there are no rules, and that's just right.
Independence Day, sunny days, regattas, and homecomings are all a part of Bahamian summers, as are the weekly specials at Super Value and quality supermarkets. Feliz Ready Cut Macaroni 400-gram box, 99 cents. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Kraft salad dressings, 8-ounce bottle, 2 for $3. Joy Dish liquids, 30-ounce size, $2.99. Sweet cherries, $3.99 per pound. Carolina Pride ham, 10-ounce size, $2.99. Bahamian and proud, that's Super Value and quality supermarkets.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Junkanoo is in our soul. The cowbells and goatskin drums are just some of the signature instruments that help to fortify the national festival. But as Jonathan Benson tells us tonight, another instrument is catching on.
I am the only female that does the kalaka.
Clarice Miller-Knowles is setting a new standard for women in Junkanoo, and it's not that hard to see why she has become so interested.
I like to feel the music. I think I've done everything that there is to do with Junkanoo, and I wanted to do something different that would show that there is female power, that we can do the impossible. The group I rush with, one family, they are open to accept whatever you want to do. And that's what I like. They're innovative in ideas. And so we set a standard. We may be young, but yet we set a standard on what Junkanoo should be and will be in the future.
As for the instrument itself, it's definitely unique and the possibilities are endless.
It gives a nice rhythm to the bells, the cowbells itself, as well as the bass drum and the tom-tom drum. I know that it came through the police band, and it first came into one family, but now you can find it in every group. Everyone tries to play it. I've been to Eleuthera where I saw that people try to play the kalaka, but I know with one family, we have different beats now. We have a number 1 and a number 2, and we have the largest kalaka line there is in the Junkanoo today.
And the plan now is to get more women involved.
I reach out, but I guess they feel like it's a bit, looking at it, they feel like it's a bit strenuous or a bit heavy, but I've had this design to fit me, and so you can get it to fit you.
Jonathan Benson, ZNS Network News.
Well, after weeks of training and hard work following tough auditions, Shania Roberts was named the winner of the National Recording Artist Search Competition today. She is given what her mentors described as the opportunity of a lifetime, a grand prize of more than $700, a recording contract, and the ability to star in her very own music video. Chairman of the Bahamas Independence Committee, Mark Humes, acknowledged the value of talent among the country's youth.
There is a lot of young talent in all areas, and in particular music, whether it's singing, whether it's production work, whether it's songwriting. There's a tremendous amount of talent in our country. And having the opportunity this year to chair for the second time, I wanted to see how we could, one, get more young people engaged in the independence celebration, and by doing that, give them an avenue by which they can become engaged.
Winner and first runner-up Devon Roll shared their experiences in the competition.
I was the last person to audition, so when I came, I was already under a lot of pressure because I thought, well, I don't know if they're going to let me audition, but they did, thankfully. And when I was able to meet with the semifinalist, it was like an instant gel. That's the only word I could use. It just felt like a second home to me, a second family, and I think that helped me a lot.
Ms. Roberts was our victor, and we celebrate her. I continue to celebrate her because she is amazing. Her voice is tremendous, and it is beautiful. And the experience itself was just phenomenal.
Well, stay tuned. There is more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay. to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Where can you find amazing selections of tiles from around the world? Exquisite medallions, pool mosaics, all colorful, bright and bold. They got granite countertop for the kitchen, elegant vanity zincs for the bathroom, tile care and ruby too. Everything you need and more at the Tile King.
The Tile King, located 69 Wolf Road. For more information, call 326-TILE or 326-5464.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian BMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say, with a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
It's Junkanoo Summer Festival time again. Delicious food, drinks, cultural games, races, kiddie corner, culinary demonstrations, the rhythm band, spank band, Falcons, the world-famous Valley Boys, One Family, Saxon Superstars, Roots, and much more. Bring your entire family to Arawaki every Saturday in July and August 4th, 1 p.m. until. For more information, contact the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation at 302-2000.
This is Junkanoo Summer Festival.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator stove or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Thomas Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF, we're more than just our name.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
It's time for your first check of weather. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live. Basil, how hot did it feel today?
Well, first of all, it got up to 91 degrees here in the capital, but that felt more like 104 degrees. That is what we calculate based on the relative humidity, which was around about 66%. And right now, we're going to take a look at those temperatures around the Family Violets, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 90 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, 90 in Grand Turkey at this hour. Marsh Barbacoa at 88 degrees, in the Berry Islands 84, 85 in Bimini. In Harbour Island, Eleuthera, 84. Roxon, Eleuthera, also 84. Otterstown, Cat Island, 84. And more 84s in Stanley Key in the Exuma chain, Camp Space, St. Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. San Salvador and Rumkey at 84. Georgetown, Exuma, also 84 degrees. More 84s in Betsy Bay, Maguana, Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Ragged Island, and Acklins. Matthewtown, Inagua, 85, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwest Islands, you can expect southeast to south winds. They will be increasing a bit, 12 to 18 knots. The wave height is building slightly 3 to 5 feet over the ocean. Low tide took place at 7:28 this evening. For the central and southeastern islands, winds southeast at 15 to 20 knots. Choppy seas around 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. So caution flags are up for you boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas. And then tomorrow for all areas, the wind southeast at 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 5 feet, low tide 7:49 in the morning, high tide at 2:12 in the afternoon. And then as we take you into Saturday, to start the weekend, winds for the Northwest Bahamas will be southeast coming down 10 to 15 knots, wave height subsiding 2 to 4 feet. Low tide 8:45 in the morning, low tide, high tide at 3:11 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, southeast winds dropping as well to 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast, and your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Shore.
The things they do, you gotta see to believe. Oh Lord, jump on this bus, it's 98 degrees. Man, this bus so broke down, ain't got no AC. Sea salt sunken in, let me off this ride. I just jump on this bus, this man want $1.25. Bus driver, why you lock like that? Fight the dog and cat. Man, please don't kill me for $1. I mean $1.25. Let me off this trap. I did say bus stop from 3 blocks back.
And that's going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Insurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 18 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. When you're living with HIV or human immunodeficiency virus, it's more important than ever to protect your immune system to maintain overall health. By keeping your body as healthy and better equipped to fight off viruses and other types of infections. People living with HIV, the virus that can cause AIDS, should adopt the following healthy habits in their daily lives. Practice safe sex. This is most important. Understand how the virus is transmitted to reduce the risk of infecting others. Use condoms not only to avoid the spread of HIV, but also to protect both you and your partner against other sexually transmitted diseases or STDs and other types of infections. Get tested for other STDs. STDs can worsen HIV and make the disease progress more rapidly. And HIV can make STDs more difficult to treat, so you'll want to address an STD as soon as possible. Prevent infections and illnesses. Since HIV makes your immune system less effective, you become more susceptible to every virus, bacteria, and germ you're exposed to. Wash your hands frequently and stay away from sick people to stay as healthy as possible. Also, stay up to date on all of your vaccinations to reduce your risk of preventable illnesses. Follow your doctor's orders about your prescriptions. It's crucial to take your HIV medication exactly as prescribed by your doctor. Skipping even one day of medication can give the virus an opportunity to become resistant to the drugs, making them ineffective against the virus. Don't abuse drugs or alcohol, quit smoking, exercise mind and body. Physical and mental exercise can keep your mind and body strong. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
There's a lot to like about Solomon's. The quality of our stores, the quality of our products, and of course, the savings. You'll find thousands of items every time you shop at everyday low prices on a wide variety of trusted brands. So you can save money almost everywhere that you look, giving you one more reason to like us. Shop Solomon's for everyday low prices.
It is summertime, which means it's the busy travel season. So before you head off on your vacations, BTC would like for you to know that we still have the best roaming rates, which will make your vacation that much better. So tell us what it is, how does it work?
So roaming allows you to use your phone when you're traveling. And of course, we are going into the peak travel season. Prior to you traveling to the United States, the best thing to do is to top up your phone, because you're going to need money in order to roam. A lot of persons think that if I purchase a data plan or if I purchase a combo plan, I'm going to be able to use that when I'm traveling. The plans that you purchase here are for local use only. Once you travel into the US or into another country, you're now on another country's network. And then also now with the travel plans, you can actually plan a little bit before you go ahead. So while you're at the airport waiting in line at Bahamas Air, you can purchase a travel plan, dial star 203 pound and select the travel plans, and you can actually purchase that plan and be ready to go. And then when you land, you'll connect to AT&T or T-Mobile and you're ready to go. Even if you're just traveling and using your phone normally without a travel plan, you're getting the best rates.
We covered a lot of information here, so if you have any additional information that you need to know, please feel free to call our customer helpline at 225-5282. I'm Corvell Pyfrom, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Our ladies Fed Cup tennis team back on the court today at their America's Group 2 tie in Ecuador. Following a 2-1 win over Bolivia on opening day, the 2-4-2 getting off to a rough start with Danielle Thompson losing the opening rubber 6-3-2. The second rubber would come down to a third set, but Kerry Cartwright would pull it out, meaning everything would come down to the doubles. Cartwright would team with Simone Pratt, and they pulled it out once again. Straight sets 6-4-3 to secure the 2-1 win. Team Bahamas will now close out pool play against Bermuda, who are 0-2, having failed to win a match so far. Freedom Farm still unable to get back on track at the Little League Baseball World Series Caribbean qualifier in Puerto Rico. Despite losing their final 3 games in round-robin play, Freedom Forum still making it through to the semifinals today as the number 4 seed. That meant they had to take on the top-seeded Puerto Ricans, who had yet to lose a game, and the hosts kept that perfect record intact with a 3-0 shutout. Freedom Forum will close out tournament play tomorrow in the consolation game against Aruba. The SLS Resort, the place to be, as some of the basketball world's biggest names are in town. For more on that, here's Amajal Knowles.
Well, the privileged pool of the Balmar Resort played host to several big-name NBA players last evening, including this year's #1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton and NBA champion and Splash brother Klay Thompson. The players in town for the annual Jeff Rogers Celebrity Basketball game that is set to take place tonight at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. Our news team caught up with Klay poolside, who told us how much he loves coming back to the Bahamas every year.
I have so much family back home, all my cousins, my aunties, my uncle Colin, everybody, and it's only vacation, but it's like, it's not work, but you got to see your whole family. It's amazing, though.
As for the game itself, Thompson saying it is surreal playing in a game where he watched some of his favorite athletes and entertainers playing growing up.
I remember seeing that game when I was 12 years old, seeing Travis Knight and Brian McKnight. Those were my 2 favorite players in the game. That's funny. I've even seen Brian McKnight hoop when I was 12 in Kendall Isaacs gym. To be playing it now, just, you know, Kyrie's been out here, Draymond. Now we got DeAndre coming home. It's an amazing event. I mark it every time on my calendar, every summer. I always think of Jeff Rogers Celebrity Game. It's a staple in my family.
Also present was Klay's dad, Bahamian and former #1 overall pick and NBA champion Michael Sweetballs Thompson, who spoke about his admiration for recent Bahamian #1 overall selection DeAndre Ayton and his impact on the future of Bahamian basketball.
It'll give other kids the inspiration that they could do incredible things too. It doesn't have to be in basketball, it could be in other walks of life. But if DeAndre can attain these kind of levels, other kids can say, if he can get to where he wants to go, if I work hard, I can be successful like DeAndre. And he understands, what I like about DeAndre is he understands that a lot of kids are looking up to him and watching him, and he wants to be an example and a role model to these kids. And that's very astute for a 19-year-old to understand that. And he's very mature and wise beyond his years.
Thompson, who also works as a radio color commentator for his former team, the Los Angeles Lakers, gave our news team this exclusive.
With going on the Lakers and with the talent we have coming in, and that was already there, I really believe the Lakers are the 2nd best team in the West. I think we're going to be better than Houston, or at least as good as Houston. I don't think we'll beat the Warriors yet, but I expect, and remember you heard this here first, Western Conference Finals, Golden State versus the Lakers.
Again, the celebrity game is scheduled to take place tonight at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. The game is expected to feature the aforementioned players as well as Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young and former Orlando Magic guard Shelvin Mack. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Before coming home, DeAndre Ayton receiving his first NBA honor. The Phoenix Suns center was named to the Summer League 2nd team. He averaged 14.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 1 block shot per game while shooting 59.5% from the field. Ayton was also one of only 7 players to average a double-double. 2 Bahamian golfers competing in the R&A Junior British Open at St. Andrews Club in Scotland this week, fresh off representing the country at the Caribbean Amateur Junior Championships in Jamaica. So Keith Hedge and Haley Turnquest both failed to make the cut. Hedge shot a 23 over 163 over 2 days. He opened up with an 83, which included a birdie, 8 pars, 5 bogeys, 3 double bogeys, and a triple bogey. That was followed up by an 80 on day 2, where he also had a birdie, 7 pars, 9 bogeys, and a double bogey. As for Turnquest, she turned in a 24 over 164. She opened with a 79, which included 3 birdies, 7 pars, 4 bogeys, and 4 double bogeys. She struggled a lot in round 2, especially on the back 9, shooting an 85. The round included 7 pars, 7 bogeys, and 4 double bogeys. Our men's national softball team continuing to gear up for the Central American and Caribbean Games in Colombia, and there's one big setback they've been having heading into competition.
We just go qualify for these tournaments, and then that's about it. We just play here locally. When Venezuela and other teams, they travel year round, to stay in shape and see that competitive softball year round.
That's just a disadvantage that we have. Something that we have to work on as an organization, as a country, as a sporting authority on the whole. But right now we don't have time. We're here. The tournament is upon us, so we basically have to do what we have to do. We've always relied on our talent. Nothing's changed. We have to rely on it again.
Now, one positive the team has going for them is that they are at least in game shape, with CAC taking place during the peak of the local fast pitch season.
It helps with conditioning. It helps with you being in game situation, continuing to play, and also do cohesiveness between the two sides, and that provides unity.
The Johnson Truckers picked up an easy 18-3 win over the Alive Strikers on Tuesday night in the New Providence Softball Association, but the team knows every night is not going to be so easy.
When you play the better teams, you're going to have to bring your A game to the park. You can't play a team that is very, competitive and play them at a team who is non-competitive. So when you play a team at that level, you have to play at a higher level. So, as we go on, that's what we're doing, and we have a pretty good team to do the things that we need to do.
The Barbarian made some waves in both the B and C classes at the All Andres Barry Islands Regatta. Skipper and boat owner Delworth Gibson says that was no fluke.
We have been making some adjustments with our boats, and both of the boats, the adjustments worked out perfectly. The Barbarian is now sailing. This boat is dangerous, and we know we won in Andres, but we know if we compete in any regatta right now, we are going to be in the mix, because the adjustments we have made, the modifications we have had to do with the boat, we have spent some $27,000 on one of those boats, and it's working out. I have no problems. Bring them on. I'm willing to challenge anybody in the B class or the C class. If you think you can beat me, bring it on.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
If you've lost your visa, call the law office of Donette Russell Love PL. My full-service immigration firm can help you if you've been denied a visa due to deportation or removal, prior conviction or arrest while in the U.S., working without work authorization, or visa overstay. I may be able to help you get your visa privileges restored. Call my office today at 954-449-1833 or visit us at drusselllove.com.
At Outback Marathon Mall, there are no rules, and that's just right. We are the tasty and affordable choice for both indoor and outdoor dining, watching the big game on big screens, or just having a few with friends at the bar. Our friendly staff at Outback love to make your family dinners, lunch meetings, hangouts, and birthday celebrations a blooming good time. Dine in, take out, or have us bring Outback to your event with just a call. At Outback, there are no rules, and that's just right.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to presents to clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring all your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring all your children's clothes. Super wash.
Hank Johnson. Now that Bahamas residents can fly or cruise free to the family islands, what are your summer vacation plans?
We're going to the news room.
And there is no better time than now with the 2 Fly or Cruise Free promotion, where all residents of the Bahamas can fly or cruise free to the family islands from Nassau. Refresh, reconnect, and unwind in the family islands. For details, go to bahamasresidents.com and fly or cruise free to the family islands today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics quiet again tonight, still have those strong upper level winds, and the Sahara that's keeping a damper on development in the tropics. And then on the home front, we have a low to mid level trough just to the west of the Bahamas, and that's creating some cloud bands across the northwest and even parts of the central Bahamas. So within those cloud bands, you're going to get some occasional showers and isolated thunderstorms developing. Tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy conditions with a few showers around the capital. Low temperature getting down to 77 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny and hot, drying out a bit with a moderate breeze in place to counter that 90-degree high temperature. And the heat index for tomorrow should be somewhere around 105 degrees. The extended weather forecast, a couple showers right into Saturday. Things drying out on Sunday, getting you ready for church and heading into the early part of next week. We're looking for an abundance of sunshine. But with the very hot temperatures and relatively light winds, you cannot rule out those odd showers popping up here and there.
Yeah, there were a couple of them today. I got
Yes,
caught
and
up
mostly in the eastern part of the island, because in the west we were pretty much dry.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Basil. That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks for looking in. Good night.
You're watching the